Have you checked the children? Your little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil, Laird.
Robert Duell.
Jaime Fuego here.
Marcia.
And we are here to do another Patreon request.
Yay.
This one is for a movie called The Furies. Right, Marcia?
Furry party.
Furies.
So,
Yay.
yes, this one
It's both.
is one that Fuego and I did trailer reactions to both this and the other one that actually got
That was the one that got banned.
canceled.
Yeah.
And
the subject matter.
Yeah, it's never
Blah.
going to be released. It was the rich hunting the poor kind of thing. We did this trailer reaction and that, and we were more keen on that one than this one. This trailer, we were like, eh. But, man, this got requested, and it happened to be one that was getting a bit of buzz towards the end of 2019, and we had to do our end of 2019 list.
Yes, we did.
And I watched this one, and it made my top 10 of 2019 because I loved this movie. And it might not be, like, the best horror movie ever made, but it did something different with a genre that we are all exceedingly familiar with at this point, and I really liked it. And so I'm excited to talk about it, but that's my overall thoughts on this one. Robert.
Same. I was excited for this movie from when I saw the trailer.
Okay.
Personally. But yeah, no, they did some really cool things that honestly I wasn't expecting them to do with this movie. And had some really good laughs that I wasn't expecting in this movie either. No, I was happy as hell with this movie. Between the story set, everything. I have no bad gripes about this movie.
Nice. Fueguissimo.
Yeah, this was one that I quite liked. Like I'm not as much in the slasher genre as I'm sure I've told many people, including you guys and the viewers on here and stuff like that. I mean, I don't prefer like human on human carnage as much as supernatural creatures and things of that nature. But the way to make something different in this genre is by this subgenre is by melding different things together, and that's what this did. The whole survival hunt aspect with the slasher aspect. It was much more creative than I anticipated. And so for that reason, while I'm not going to go as far as to say I loved it, it definitely was brutal, and it did some stuff that I didn't anticipate. And yeah, it was creative. It left room open for kind of more entries as well without saying a lot about it. And so this is franchisable. I can definitely give it that credit. So Marcia doesn't want to see more.
All right, Judas, you're up.
Sorry, guys, this one was not for me. I was pretty bored through the whole thing. I didn't find it that creative. And maybe because it melds so many different things together that it just felt like I've seen it before and done better. Like it just, with the acting and the storyline was just so simple. With this film, I mean, the type of movie it is, it would be like you're just a bunch of girls in the woods getting hunted and getting killed. There was a little bit of the twist, which was different, but overall, I was really bored with it. I didn't like it.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
she can be wrong. It's okay.
I can have a different opinion. That's fine.
So story-wise, this one is, like she said, though, very simple. You start off, you meet this character who is having a bit of a fight with her close friend, and very quickly she is knocked out and taken away and basically wakes up in the middle of the woods, not knowing at all what's going on, and suddenly she's being chased by madmen with weapons in masks and being helped by other random girls that appear to have been taken against their will. And it's, it starts off pretty interestingly, but like Fuego said, the survival, this really is a movie that is clearly an homage to the 90s type of movies like Surviving the Game No Escape, exactly. Yeah. Things where, there's, Suicide Squad even did this to a degree.
Too.
But it's that sort of thing, and yes, with the slasher elements thrown in, it's a very apt description. But so it turns out these women are being chased through this woods setting, and actually woods and clearings and other such things like that, but they're being chased by these multiple slashers, but it turns out, we find out very quickly, and this is kind of the twist of it all, and some might say it's a spoiler, but it's a mechanic you realize halfway through the movie, that I think personally makes the movie more interesting. So we're going to say what it is.
That's what won me over.
And it turns out that each of these slashers is actually assigned to one of these girls in order to try and keep her alive, or at least make her the last one to survive. And so that adds a level of competition between the slashers. It adds a level of deviousness to the girls once they figure it out.
That was what made it even more interesting. There was the interesting aspect of the pairing, but then when the girls started to figure out, and
then you get some conniving bitches. You get some conniving bitches that will basically, say, "Hey, if I do something like this, then it'll get your guy destroyed, and I'm in the clear." Like all this stuff.
Higher likelihood I'll be the survivor, so to speak. Yeah.
So that's the long and short of the story. And again, it's a new spin on different things that we've seen before, but it was done so well and entertainingly, and it didn't overstay its welcome, that I really dug the story and how it was presented. Robert?
No, likewise. One thing I'll actually say about the story, I really dug that whole being paired up with the ladies and the Beauty and the Beast aspect. Like that, I thought was super cool. And then, but originally it kind of threw me for a loop because I'm thinking that it's basically a free for all. Like you have to save your kill because that scene in the the field.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing that first initial thing. Yeah, that wave. That cracked me the hell up. Something like, oh, he's toying with her and everything. Now he's gonna go over there and kill her. And then you got the other guy come over and it's like, yeah. And then that part's revealed.
That was a brutal fight between those two.
Yeah, that was super cool. But no, like I lost my train of thought.
I can
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead and jump in while he thinks about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna be devil's advocate then, and I'm gonna side.
Well, we have one, but go ahead.
Well, I'll side with Marcia a little bit in the fact that the whole story of the girl was the aspect I didn't like about this.
Okay.
The fact that she's got the trauma, she's a wimp. Her friend at the beginning trying to be like, you need to, like, man up. That's not the proper term. You need to just be more assertive and not so scared and wimpy and all this other stuff. And I mean, yeah, it's written in that her condition only really presents itself in certain situations, as opposed to where she would probably have it happen more often, be a sitting duck and fall. And
extreme moments of stress.
Yeah, exactly. She would like her fate would be a little bit more sealed in that regard. So I mean, that's where of the melding of tropes, sometimes you can overstep the turkey and it becomes boring for that regard because you're like, oh, I've seen all of this done better, like you were mentioning, and they're just trying to bring so many different things in, so many influences to make it original. It almost becomes unoriginal to that degree. I didn't necessarily feel that, but that was the one tropey part. Her arc, her story, I was not the biggest fan of, but I did like everything that you guys mentioned. That's what made it unique to me.
Okay.
So,
Marcia?
I mean, it is different. The Beauty and the Beast aspect is different normally in this situation. It's one or two guys going after a bunch of girls and they just all get picked off. And it was a lot more brutal, and I'll give them to that. But overall, I thought the story, it was boring. Like, to me, and I think maybe it was the girl that really bothered me because of the whole thing. It didn't even make sense that these people were still talking. She got like 3 girls killed in like 2 seconds, and then and
spoilers.
and how like she would survive with the problem that she was having. Like, she passed out like 6 or 7 times, yet she's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in this situation,
There's some times of convenience, sure.
there's a lot of time of convenience, but I don't know, like it.
And the one beat with the character later on, he makes kind of a little turn and then doesn't kind of follow through with our lead.
Yeah.
I kind of scratched my head a little bit at that.
Like, there was some holes in
yeah,
it, like especially with her beast. I won't say what happened there, but it was like it left me really confused because I'm like, wait, why is she doing this if this is supposed to be her trying to survive? And I don't know.
I was still intrigued by the whole pulling back of the curtain of the extent of this operation. I found that pretty fascinating, and that's where they won me over, really. Was
a bunch of rich people jerking off to girls getting murdered in the woods. Like,
yeah, we have
original.
Seen it. You're right. We've seen it before.
I don't know. Like, it just wasn't. It wasn't my cup of tea. I can see there's a lot of stuff that you guys made some really good valid points about it, why it is different, and why you guys got excited about it, and I see it. But overall, when I'm watching it, I was not impressed, and I was bored. So.
And ruining the ending too.
Did I?
Yep. Well, just who's behind it and everything.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious in the movie that it's like going to be
Not really, not from the trailers, but
somebody pulling the strings, right?
not necessarily. But
All
it's
right.
all right. I'll work around it. Maybe we'll
I didn't
see.
think that was the most important thing of the.
It's not the most important thing, but it is a reveal later. So I don't know.
I guess,
We'll
yeah.
see. It's not the whole movie. If I
It-
decide to not worry about it and keep it in, it's not a big.
I didn't
thing.
think that was the.
It's not the main
twist.
crux of anything,
No.
but,
Well, I mean,
it
we do-
is something revealed later.
Yeah, I guess we do learn very early on,
Well, you
that,
see the operation
that there's
scenes.
the operation scene, and
Oh, that's
and,
true. Okay,
and,
so
and the
good.
fact that people
Okay.
that there is a big overarching power and presence behind all of this competition.
She's right though. It is
Yeah.
something that we've seen before as far as that goes. That particular twist. I mean, I complained about it in another movie that I reviewed 2 years ago. It was the one where it was the people sneaking into a house that they were going to invade, hiding a bunch of cameras, and then leaving in order to invade so that they can have all the cameras taping the action.
It was
Oh,
the,
what
it was
film
the
was that?
movie we did the film thing for, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Film bar.
oh yeah, oh goodness.
No, that was another one. That was
Oh.
actually
That
a
was
different one
I
that did
actually
the same thing.
I actually
yeah.
like that one.
No, that one was good. No,
That
but
one-
yeah, that end
Yeah.
and even
That's funny.
Escape Room was the same
Yeah,
thing.
to a degree.
Oh,
Right
I
at the
like
end,
Sure.
at the end, it was a group of
Sequel
TVs
coming.
where
Yeah.
people were watching from afar.
Yeah.
So it's been done before. So yeah, you're right. It's not a huge spoiler. So just briefly, we're already going on kind of long. So
Sorry.
let's just hit the acting real quick and then the effects. So acting, I thought everything was. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought they were all serviceable. A couple things were a little bit over the top, but nothing that pulled me out of the movie.
No,
Robert?
same. Like everyone was pretty good. There were some times, like definitely with the lead character and everything, she kind of was a little whiny, I would say.
She was written that
Like,
way though. And
yeah, it
I
was
mean,
and everything, but like,
Yeah.
but at the same time though, it's like if with where you're at now in like the situation, you gotta, in a sense, not. I don't want to I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but grow a pair and everything.
That's why I said be a man. and
Yeah,
I was like, no,
like,
that's not
it's
the right
like-
Woman
right
up.
there.
You got to
Yeah,
woman up.
yeah.
Over up.
But
Yeah, there you go.
because she's basically, it's like her epilepsy is too much of a crutch and everything. I feel like she.
Oh
holds
yeah,
on
she's
to.
got epilepsy.
Yeah,
It was meant
that's
to-
her
it
handicap.
was meant to be, though,
but
because
that
that's what
was a
she's
nice
trying
little
to-
play though for what they were doing, like with the whole surgical aspect and everything. When she started having her episodes,
True.
that I thought was a really good play into the story, and that
That's
helped,
true,
that
because
helped
yeah,
really
there are
nicely.
some built-in cameras in places.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they had to explain her.
Yeah.
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 Fuego acting.
Acting, one performance that stood out actually, even though it's a little bit over the top, is the Asian girl and what happens with her. And her,
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
her cycle of timidity to just viciousness was
Ruthlessness, yeah.
much more interesting than our lead. In all honesty, I was just like, wow, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that. Like nobody, I thought we did fine, but I agree with you on the Asian girl because at times like I'm like, is she for real? And I'm still up in the air. Like maybe she wasn't for real. Maybe she was. That was her. She was playing everybody. But I enjoyed her character too. I thought that was kind of fun. But no, I thought everybody did a pretty decent job. I mean,
So it was the story that got your goat more than anything.
yeah, it's just I think just overall, just like everything together, I just wasn't moved by this movie.
Yeah, pretty sure it's an Aussie movie, and Australian actors, and they are some of the best in the world, legit. I mean,
By the way, this is available on Shudder currently.
Yeah.
At least
Yes.
that's how
That's
we
where I
all
watched
watched
it.
it. So finally, let's talk about the effects,
We
which
have
this is
to.
the star of the movie.
there's
really,
a kill in this movie that turned up
It's
on
in the
10
trailer.
in the 10 best on Bloody Disgusting.
it is good. It is well done. It is awesome. It is brutal. It is just it's practically done too. So that's not like most of the. I don't remember a lot. There might have been a CG squirt here and there, but it was all practical.
Yeah, pretty much all practical. It was
CG
great.
squirt.
But it was like the effects were all gore, and it was I thought it was all really well done. You guys know I'm a big gore hound. I like when it's all gore. That's why I like the Laid to Rest movies that I forced Cody Leach to watch. But gore is my jam, and this delivered. So being that it had a plot that I'm used to, but with a nice twist, and then it had really good gore, it was just perfect for me. So gore for you?
No, the kills in this were awesome. Especially the beginning scene, basically with the girl and the axe in the face.
That's the one.
Oh my god, that was such a cool scene. I felt so bad, and you actually get cringy and everything.
I turned
They
away
were-
watching.
Dude,
that
did you
scene.
really? Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which
Well,
is
and then you got
good.
the other
I
girl
had to
and
see how
everything.
far it goes.
The other girl who gets
seen that
gets
stuff to
pulled up
women, I
against
can't.
the tree and everything.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that one psycho and everything. That guy, he played his character really well. Like, yeah, the effects and gore in this were top notch.
They definitely gave the attuned attention to them.
Yeah.
If they're making me turn away and wince and stuff like that, I mean, when that sort of stuff is happening to women, I have a tough time with it. But
True.
The arm one was another that was just kind of
Oh,
crazy,
man.
if I remember, and it just.
Because
Yeah.
my curious thing, like when I'm watching that, I'm like, where are you taking her? Why are you going so far? And it was like, oh, okay.
And Marcia, gore for you?
I thought this was the area that I appreciated the most out of this movie because they put the money where it needed to be, which was in the gore. I mean, this is a
Truly.
horror. This is a horror movie, and this is what it's about. This is why people watch this type of film, is to watch. It's the many ways that we can kill our prey, and they did a really good job. And it was disgusting. It was brutal, and it was intense, and they lingered, and that makes it more fun, and because you feel uncomfortable, and that's what it should be doing. You shouldn't feel comfortable in this type of movie, so I thought they did really well.
I was glad they had some brutality on the killers too. You
Yeah.
know, those weird masked mofos that we had.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them befell some nasty fates as well.
Yeah,
Some-
I'm just like, where do they stay for the rest of the year? Like, is this their full-time job? Like, how do you go into a job interview? Like, my face is all mangled. I'm wearing 3 different women. Like, I'm working on the 4th.
I'm just curious on how he's running around with that leather suit basically on him.
Right.
Like he's wearing a person, yeah, he's running around like nothing.
You know, it's like women in heels. You just gotta
you
learn.
I still don't know how you guys
adjust,
do it.
Yeah.
Hey,
impressive.
human skin is very stretchable material.
All
right,
Just
guys.
keep it oiled.
So we're going to go ahead and call our review there for the Furies. Thank you very much for watching. What did you think about this movie? If you've seen it, let us know in the comments down below.
Scuba
And
Steve!
Once again, thank you to Scuba Steve for requesting it. If you guys want to request movies like this for us to review, click that link in the description box for our Patreon. While you're down there, click the like button and subscribe and ding that notification bell if you want to make sure you don't miss other episodes like this going forward. Currently, as we record this, we have over 60 reviews available strictly to our patrons. So some of that will start to filter over to the show, the main channel, but you guys get a lot of early content if you're a patron. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Robert Duell.
Gracias, I've been Jaime and Fuego.
Marcia Parker.
And remember, stay scared.
Scared.